from searching the web to getting answers from an AI chatbot. These queries all require data centres to function.
From banking, health services, social media, public transport, streaming, all of these services really rely on data centres somewhere in the world to store and process their data.
As investment into AI booms globally, data centres are trying to keep up with their use. Late last year, the government launched a national artificial intelligence plan, today unveiling its 5 national expectations for those looking to build or expand in Australia. To prioritise Australia's national interest, support Australia's energy transition, use water sustainably and responsibly, invest in Australian skills and jobs, and strengthen research, innovation and local capability. While the government's expectations aren't legally binding, they are important for getting new investments approved.
We need more data centres in Australia, because of the compute power required for our use of AI, but also to be part of the global community.
The alternative to not hosting the infrastructure here in Australia is that we will be an importer of foreign technology and a client state of foreign powers, if you like.
But some uncertainty remains around how the expectations will be implemented and what criteria will be used to assess projects and fast-track approvals.
I think the devil will be in the detail of what this means for local communities living alongside these facilities, the energy and water providers and distributors building the infrastructure to make this happen, and how this is aligned with state and government policies.
Australia's $150 billion data centre gamble. Brilliant future or digital disaster? Imagine if Australia became the world's biggest digital landlord. Not for houses, not for apartments, but for giant warehouses full of computers. That's exactly what's happening right now. According to the report by the ABC and other major outlets, Australia has more than $150 billion worth of data centre investments either planned or underway, with some experts suggesting we could become the data centre capital of the world, according to ABC News. Now, before your eyes glaze over and just start thinking, mate, what is even a data centre? Every Google search, every Netflix binge, every TikTok scroll, every AI question you ask, it all lives inside these giant digital factories. And Australia is rolling out the welcome mat. But is this our next mining boom? Or are we accidentally building ourselves into a giant extension cord for big tech? What is actually happening? Think of a data centre as a giant shed, except instead of storing hay bales and tractors, it's packed with thousands of computers working 24 hours a day. The explosion is driven by cloud computing, artificial intelligence, and our growing addiction to being online. Australia has already 160 data centres with dozens more proposed. Why Australia? Well, we've got political stability, well, that's debatable, strong legal systems, reliable internet connections, plenty of renewable energy potential, that's still yet to be determined, lots of space, and perhaps most importantly, we're far less likely to have a data centre interrupted by a moose, volcano, or civil war. Not many countries can tick all those boxes. The benefits for Australians, jobs and investment. Let's start with the good news. A lot of money is flowing into Australia. Westpac economists estimate Australia's data centre pipeline could exceed $155 billion. That's serious money. Construction creates thousands of jobs, engineers, electricians, cybersecurity specialists, network technicians, and project managers. And unlike my teenage attempts at becoming a professional gamer, these are actual careers. Economic growth. Data centres become the backbone of modern economies. The Victorian government says that the industry can boost innovation, productivity, and create highly skilled jobs to stay in Australia. Think about it. Every AI company, every online retailer, every fintech startup, every streaming platform, needs computing power. And if Australia hosts that infrastructure, we could become more valuable in the digital global economy. AI leadership. Whether we like it or not, AI isn't going away. The countries that build the infrastructure may end up controlling a significant chunk of the future economy. It's a bit like the gold rush, except instead of digging holes in the ground, we're plugging into supercomputers. The concern nobody likes talking about. Concern 1. Power consumption. Here's where things get spicy. Data centres consume masses of electricity. Reports suggest that Australia's data centre energy demand could rise dramatically over the next 15 years and may account for a significant share of the national electricity use, according to ABC News. One major concern is who's paying for all the extra power infrastructure? Because if we're not careful, Australians could end up footing part of the bill. Concern 2. Water usage. We live in the driest inhabited continent on Earth. Water matters. Many data centres require cooling systems. Industry groups and policy experts are increasingly discussing water security as one of the biggest challenges for future development, according to Tech Radar. Now, some operators are improving cooling technology and reducing water consumption. But the question remains, can Australia scale up hundreds of facilities without putting pressure on local resources? Concern 3. Foreign ownership. Here's the uncomfortable question. If multinational tech giants own the infrastructure, who captures most of the profits? ABC reporting has raised concerns about whether the biggest financial benefits will stay in Australia or offshore. It's a fair question. Australia provides the land, the power, the infrastructure, the workforce, but who gets the biggest slice of the pie? Concern 4. Farmland and commuters. Another emerging concern is land use. Some analysts warn prime agricultural land could increasingly compete with data centre developments, according to the Australian. Because while you can't eat server racks, you can eat food. Last time I checked, nobody was ordering a rack of Nvidia chips with tomato sauce. Government responsibility. What should government do? This is where government earns its pay packet. The Australian government has already released expectations for data centre and AI infrastructure developments. These expectations focus on national interest, energy security, water security, and community resources, according to the Industry and Science Resources. The government's job should be protect electricity reliability, protect water resources, ensure communities benefit, encourage renewable energy investments, maintain transparency, keep Australia competitive, and in simple terms, don't kill the golden goose, but don't let the goose take over the entire farm either. Are we heading down a slippery slope? Now, let's ask the big question. Could this be a slippery slope? Possibly. History tells us every boom comes with risks. Mining, property, telecommunications, the internet, cryptocurrency. Every major opportunity arrives wearing a shiny suit and carrying a hidden invoice. If Australia rushes ahead without proper planning, we could face high energy demand, infrastructure strain, environmental pressure, foreign profit extraction, community backlash, but if managed properly, this could be one of the biggest economic opportunities Australia has ever seen since the mining boom, according to ABC News. That's the balancing act. Australia stands at a crossroads. One path sees us becoming a global digital powerhouse, a nation that powers AI, innovation, and the next generation of technology. The other path sees us giving away our resources, our energy, and our advantages without securing enough benefits for ordinary Australians. The truth is, data centres aren't good. They're not bad, they're tools. And what matters is who controls them, who benefits from them, and whether the prosperity they create reaches everyday Australians, not just shareholders sitting on the other side of the world. Because the biggest question isn't whether Australia can become the data centre of the world. The real question is, if we become the digital powerhouse of the future, will Australia own that future or merely pay the electricity bill for it? And that's a conversation worth having. If you enjoyed this video, hit like, share and subscribe and hit the bell. And remember, question everything, even the cloud, even this video. Thanks for watching, legends. We'll see you in the next one.